I'm Rachel Nislatka from Radical Alchemy, continuing with my Founders Leadership Series. We are on week 5. Hey, company founders, who's running your future business? Stop getting in your own way. Sample my 12-week leadership development pilot instead. Week 5, aligning to your future state founder. Remember that time when we all worked for a startup and everyone knew each other, like on a personal level? Okay. That didn't happen. We didn't all work together. But you know what I mean. That dream of rolling up your sleeves, David versus Goliath, fighting the man and solving first world problems, the camaraderie, the family, the feeling part of something bigger. After all, sometimes we all just want to go where everybody knows our names, you know? So when I joined a new company several years ago as their first HR business partner, I was thrilled when the CEO set up time with me directly just for us to meet. It turns out he did this with every single employee. And honestly, it was amazing. We exchanged book recommendations and discussed them the next time we met. A coworker told me that during his own meeting, he shared that his kids only eat noodles with butter. So the CEO sent him some bags of artisanal pasta. This kind of behavior is what helped build the culture of that company to be what it was when I started: warm, personable, supportive, scrappy, and shockingly successful. And then, 1 month after I joined, the company went public. Within the next year, it would go on to execute 2 acquisitions. And the CEO was in a pickle because he had said that he would never give up his one-on-one meetings with every new hire. Like I said last week, your employees don't experience your leadership intent. Instead, they experience your leadership actions. And in this case, the CEO had only the best intentions in wanting to keep the culture that had brought the company so far. But his actions threatened to create something different. They put him at risk of missing important decisions that needed to be made, strategies that had to be shaped, and politics that required managing. They distracted his energy from the things that only the CEO could do for a company embarking on a massive phase of growth. And please don't get me wrong. The answer isn't to care less about your organization or the people who keep it functional. The answer is to figure out how to care about them effectively based on where the business is today and where you see the business going tomorrow. Because the CEO who got that company to IPO is not the same version of him they needed once public. And what exactly did they need? They needed someone who could figure out how to create those same vibes, not the same exact experience, at scale. Let's face it, nothing feels quite like the energy of the early days when you all sit in the conference room together, when the CEO of the company knows what your kids eat for dinner, and you crush some Bud Light before a late night game of foosball. Often, startup leaders and founders must trade those moments, the blood, sweat, and tears, for strategy, security, and an employee stock purchase plan. One isn't better, they are just different. What was once exciting, tenuous, and a roller coaster loop must become steady, predictable, and a test of endurance more so than strength. Otherwise, we all suffer from a permanent head rush, and no one is productive under those conditions. For my paid subscribers, I sent out another worksheet this morning to help you align yourself to the founder your future business needs. For everyone else, here are some words of wisdom to keep in mind. Your team should not be relying on you for the same support 3 years from now. What do you want your company to look like, and what changes do you need to make to get there? What are the behavioral tendencies and unintended patterns standing in your way of being the leader your future business needs? What are the themes and core values that will always be meaningful to your organization? And how does the way your team experiences these evolve with the business? What is one immediate shift you can make starting today? As Benjamin Hardy says, your current self is the product of your past decisions. Your future self will be the product of your present decisions. Buying fancy pasta might be the right move today, but for a publicly traded company quickly onboarding new organizations, there is more pressing business than pasta. This is what you worked for. This is where the late night fire drills culminate and the long-term success stories are separated from the failures. Your future is waiting. No pressure or anything, but how you act today will dictate how high the rocket ship goes. Please don't get bogged down in the pasta. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. And I will see you next week for week 6.